morning. I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations that are 501c3 nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they're here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some new friends today. Yeah. Celebrating over 101 years of Tucson traditions, Tucson's La Fiesta de los Vaqueros, established in 1925, marked the city's frontier spirit amidst Prohibition. The inaugural event, conceptualized by Leighton Kramer, aimed to showcase Tucson's Wild West allure and attract winter visitors. Tucson Rodeo returns February 21st and 22nd, as well as February 26th through March 1st. Get all the details over at TucsonRodeo.com, but we're going to get a bunch of them because today I'm fortunate enough to speak with Mark Baird, chairman of the Tucson Rodeo. Welcome back, Mark. He was just here.
Absolutely. Hi, Frank. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad you're back because we've had some news happen since we hung out, and you didn't come alone this time. You brought friends. We've got Ken Marcus, vice chairman. Ken, welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you, Frank. Good afternoon.
It's good to see you, as well as member at large for the board of directors. It is Lisa Wedman. Lisa, welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you for having us, Frank.
I'm very happy to have you back. Mark was like, we're going to have Mark back again. And I'm like, okay, Mark, you got to bring some friends. And I insist, I would like a lady's perspective on the rodeo because we have a great time talking about this event. It is a pinnacle event here in Tucson. So it's just super fun to get your insight. You can listen to when me and Mark just spoke about a month ago, anytime on demand over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. But let's get even more into what the rodeo is, because we went over the schedule last time, really talked about all the events and what the kids are going to be doing and really some of it. Let's talk about the ancillary things happening, the things happening on the perimeter, the fun stuff that really makes the rodeo and rodeo days such a special part of Tucson and our heritage. Mark, let's not start with you. Let's talk to our new friends because we've got our vice chair. Vice Chair, tell me about some of your favorite things from the rodeo, Ken, because I want to get all the details about it from your perspective as well.
Well, the rodeo performance is great, and it's a very family-friendly event, but around the rodeo, it's almost like a county fair.
Yes.
We have a lot of merchandise vendors, food vendors, so you can try different food, look at different things to purchase, some amusements that are part of that. So, and then we've just expanded that area to add some more vendors as we go along. We have over 100 vendors that come out for the Tucson Rodeo.
Wow, I don't think anyone realizes it's over 100 vendors. I am part of an art organization that's like their main thing is we'll have about 100, 150 art vendors and we'll put on a whole festival. So literally 100 artisans there doing all this fun stuff, coming out there. Wait a minute, I'm not wearing my right hat. Mark told me I needed a black cowboy hat last time, and I brought one this time. That's right. So that's the thing is that there's so much going on. I even know that there's like a haberdasher that does show up. You get these cowboy hats. He's got a line out the door. I've heard about that the last time we talked about a year ago, about some of these great folks that show up that only come to the area for this event, that you can get these real original one-of-one handmade pieces. And it's a very unique experience. Let me ask you, how long have you been a part of the Tucson Rodeo, Ken?
I've been part of the Tucson Rodeo for 12 years now.
Wow.
I volunteered 12 years ago and steadily moved through the ranks, and here I am vice chair.
There you go. Well done. That's how you move on up there. And speaking of moving on up, let's talk to this lovely lady there to your left. It is Lisa Wedman. Lisa, as member at large for the board of directors, what does that mean?
As a member of the board of directors, we meet monthly, besides our other meetings, to work on all the day-to-day things that go behind the scenes to keep the Tucson Rodeo going. It's not just for the month of February. It takes the entire year to plan and get everything set up.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, and I have asked because everyone gets so amped for it as we get toward it and get to February. But it is like something that takes to throw an event like this, the WrestleMania of rodeo, to have a big fun event annually takes a lot of planning monthly. So that's important work that you're doing. And again, volunteers, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We have a large number of volunteers. That is how the rodeo functions.
Yeah.
All of us on the board, on the committee, are all volunteers, and those that come out work details throughout the month of February and the week of rodeo.
How long have you been with rodeo?
I have been out at the rodeo since I was a kid, 9 years old, volunteering.
Yeah?
Left for college and came back and started volunteering again. I've been a voting member since 2007.
Like, that is so fun. So you've really grown up in the rodeo. That's definitely someone who has the most experience. 'Cause sometimes I do ask folks that come on in here and it's just like, oh, I've only actually been once, or I haven't gone yet, which is something. So it really is important to see someone who's been able to do it since they were a little kid volunteering. That's great. Did you do any of did you try it when you were a kid, or did you try it ever at all to do any of the actual sport?
No, I did not try the sport.
Yeah.
I have cousins who roped, barrel raced growing up, but I personally did not.
Yeah.
My stepfather came into my life when I was 9, and he was already on the rodeo committee, and that's how I became and started volunteering out there.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's actually really important because it shows you like what a great thing that you all bonded over growing up. So that's really a great thing. How cool. All right, Mark, you're in charge of this whole thing. How long have you been a part of the rodeo? Let's remind everybody.
I've been involved with the Tucson Rodeo Committee since 1995.
Not too shabby.
Started out there as a volunteer. I got roped into doing things, helping them come out and stock beer troughs through work, and it took one afternoon, and I decided that was something I was going to be involved with, and I've been doing it ever since.
The
I
rodeo
got elected as a full board member in 2008 and have worked my way up, and this is my second go-round as chairman, so I'm one of 2 out of the 100 years that have done it twice.
Yeah. See, I think I saw that or knew that because I realized that about the chairs, because chairs do rotate around. What, 30 years, that says, not since 95?
That's a pretty good chunk.
Yeah, not too bad. It's fun when you find your community, and that's what rodeo is. It's a community. It's a big community.
It is.
Yeah, that's very unique into itself. So we were talking a bit ago about some of the expansions that you've had to some of these other programs. Why don't you tell me about some of it and what you're doing with Chicks and Chaps? Because you were saying that they are going to get a bit more of attention this year, and I even just interviewed them, and that's going to be a great episode to air, celebrating everything with the rodeo. Tell me about some of the bigger things going on.
Well, last year we created the Cowboy Corner experience, which is actually a viewing area for people that is right adjacent to the timed event area. You're within 10 feet of the ropers and the tie-down ropers and the team ropers and the steer wrestlers. You're right in the middle of the action down there. And you can sit there and have a snack and a cold beverage and sit and watch the action about as close to the arena as you can get.
Wow.
And then this year we kind of revamped underneath the grandstands. We took our poster room because we have a collectible series of posters. We do a special print every year. And we expanded that whole area for them, so it's kind of almost like a little gallery now where you can actually walk in and see posters from the past that we still have available and things like that. Just things to make it easier for people to get in and out of and to experience that stuff and move around. And then we did create a whole new area for vendors on the east side of the arena, too. So we are able to add almost 40 new vendors on that side of the grounds. So
that is huge.
it gives a little more space and people aren't as crowded and more things to look at.
Yeah. And like you were saying, that county fair vibe, that's really fun and really great. And when I go to all these events, because I'm always at some event every weekend, like that is what you're looking for, is you want room to breathe, but having all those people there and plenty of space is great for that festival event. That is what you want.
Absolutely.
Tell me about some of the food that's available.
You can get everything from caramel corn to Indian fry bread to barbecue. If you can eat it, chances are we've got a place that'll sell it.
That's awesome. Heck yeah. What are some of your favorite parts when it's not the rodeo itself? What are some of your favorite things when it comes to these other groups that do get involved?
Well, I think giving back to the community is probably a big deal on my end anyway. The charitable donations we do, the kids that we get out there helping us park cars and pick up trash, all those little things that nobody thinks about. We recruit a lot of these high school baseball teams and softball teams and 4-H groups and things to come out and help us with that, because without them, we couldn't pull this off. It takes a small army just to park cars in that parking lot.
Yeah.
And, when you add 25 or 30 people to that detail every day, without them, we'd be dead in the water. And same with trash pickup and everything else. There's a lot of moving parts that without those volunteer groups, we wouldn't be able to do this event to the level that it's at and have people enjoy themselves.
How late can people try to register to become volunteers for the Tucson Rodeo?
We've got people still calling us now asking if they're places they can come and help.
Tucson is a walk uptown, so some people are only getting the memo now. That's
you
like,
betcha.
oh, yeah.
They'll be up there February 20th knocking on the door going, hey, you guys need any help?
That's the spirit. So remember, go get involved, volunteer. If you can't donate your time, donate some money to this great organization because they are a 501c3 and they are doing a lot of great stuff. That's correct. That is great and a big, big deal. And speaking of 501c3s, Chicks and Chaps is a great 501c3 organization dedicated to helping communities raise money for local individuals and families impacted by breast cancer while promoting the sport of rodeo and that Western lifestyle. I had a great conversation with Tucson Chicks and Chaps, so we're going to air that one. But why don't you tell me about what you're doing for this great organization this year?
Well, when we started with Chicks and Chaps here about 13 years ago, we agreed that, we would provide the venue if they needed a place to hold their breakfast and their meeting and whatever we could do to support them. And we've done that every year since. This year we decided, you know what? We need to step this up a little bit and really get involved with this. So as a committee, we voted as a board that we were going to take $1 from every ticket sold on February 22nd and donate it to that group.
Wow.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg with it. We really are trying to give them all the additional help that we can. Over the years, they've donated like $160,000 just to local cancer awareness.
Yeah.
And every dollar they raise stays right here in Tucson. It doesn't go to some national headquarters or anything like that. Everything that they raise here stays here. So it helps everybody in our community immensely, from the wigs and prosthetics and things like that they do. I can't say enough about it. It's something that's close to my heart. And I believe in it 100%.
That's great. All right. And if you can't say enough about it, well, let's ask these fine folks over here. So what does it mean to you about this organization and also about some of the great things that you have done and even that you've seen growing up around the rodeo when it comes to everything that they've done? Lisa, you've been doing this for all these years. You really do have another great perspective of how much it's grown, just as much as Mark, who's been here for 30 years doing it just in charge of things and volunteering. What have you seen and how great is it for you to see like the amount of help you give to other great groups and just other fun stuff?
The growth out at the rodeo has been incredible over the years, not only to the grounds themselves and all the venues that Mark was speaking about, but also to the community and what we've been able to give back over the years. And that just continues to increase. As well as with Chicks and Chaps. Speaking of that, we're trying to get a pink out for that Sunday when you come.
Oh.
So if you don't have a pink shirt that you can wear out that day, we will have a pink shirt that you can purchase, and the proceeds for the sale of that shirt will also go back to Chicks and Chaps.
That is great, because when talking to them, they're like, let's turn the rodeo pink. So you literally are going to be doing that. That's so amazing. And events like that do work. They really do. The U of A had the big whiteout game. It was their history record game because it's fun to kind of have a mini party at a party, right?
Absolutely.
So that's great. Heck yeah. So let me ask our vice president here, or our vice chair rather. Ken, what is one of your favorite parts when it comes to these other organizations or some of the growth that you've seen in your time as we are now where we are?
Well, we work with other organizations on site. The Lions Club has concessions underneath the stadium, and they keep some of those proceeds for their organization. The Rotary Club is out there. They help with the beer sales, and they keep some of those proceeds for their organization. And Rotary also is out there with their car show.
Yeah.
And they promote their raffle, so we give them space to show their Corvette every year.
Heck yeah.
And they can sell raffle tickets for that. But we also give directly to community organizations. We give monetarily to the Community Food Bank, Gospel Rescue Mission. There's others. And the board votes for, we look at that every year and find out needy organizations that will help the community, and we donate money directly to help support those organizations.
Really?
Yes.
I'll tell you. So now all I do is interview nonprofits, and I always talk to some of them, like Angel Charity for Children is an organization, or the Centurions, that they are a giant organization that then helps 5 to 15 smaller nonprofits that would never get that type of attention. And I think that it's kind of a secret that you guys are doing pretty much the same thing. Because I don't think people think this when they're thinking of rodeo. They're not thinking of the charity and how much you are giving back to the community and, again, throughout the year. So that's really clutch and important to learn. And that's why I love having you on, because we have talked so many times. But name drop as many organizations as you'd like, because everyone you've mentioned, I've had an interview with them, and the Rotary Club needs you guys to just, they love it. They love it. And I always try to point this out on Lifestyle Tucson is a lot of these great organizations like Alliance Club, like a Rotary Club, you have to look at their members, and they're all aging out, and you need new young members to take it up, because it's these organizations that do the community good and raise funds for the community and get your neighbors together. And I really do implore more people to get involved with organizations like Rotary and like the Tucson Rodeo, because what a great organization to be a part of. All you need's a black cowboy hat. I've seen that members page. That's the spirit. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other things happening, because we went over all of the, like I said, the sporting events. I want to also get the schedule a little clear, because I know Wednesday is your day off, right, during that week. So let's talk about the rodeo is February 21st, February 22nd. That's what it says on the calendar there. But then it says, and February 26th through March 1st. What happens between those dates?
Well, Monday and Tuesday we have slack, which is qualifying for the contestants that we have overflow on. We have almost 800 people register.
Oh, wow.
To compete in Tucson. Well, we can't run 800 contestants even in 6 days. We'd be there from dawn till dusk every day.
Okay, yeah.
So what we do for the timed event guys is we have what's called slack, and they compete for times on Monday and Tuesday to see if they have good enough times to come back for the final 4 days.
Okay. Are there tickets for that?
No, that's free. You can
come
down and watch. Free. You can come down and watch slack all day long if you want.
Well. I know we mentioned that last time. We did not mention that detail.
There's no rough stock. There's no bulls or bareback horses or anything like that. But we have all the timed events, the barrel racers, team ropers, etc. They all compete, and they start about 7:30 in the morning and go till 1:30 in the afternoon, Monday and Tuesday. So, and then Wednesday is our day off.
Okay. So there you go. There's your schedule for you.
There's your schedule.
You can go check out that slack stuff. That's super. If you're really obsessed with rodeo, and also then volunteer, you should, because then you get to go to these things regardless.
Absolutely.
But really go have a good time down at the Tucson Rodeo Grounds. That's amazing and a really fun thing. I didn't know that. See? Learning stuff constantly.
Exactly.
What other secrets might I not know about the Tucson Rodeo? Let me ask you folks there. What is something that's on your mind that you'd like people to know about the Tucson Rodeo that people might not know?
Something that people may not know about the rodeo is the day you're coming out, plan to come out all day. Gates open at 10 a.m. As Mark previously stated, there are numerous vendors. Mm-hmm. That gives you the morning to eat, shop, try to get through all the vendors before Muttin Bustin and the Junior Rodeo start, and then the performance follows that. At the end of the performance, then you have the opportunity to go to the barn dance.
And the barn dance, I think that sounds fun. And that goes, what is that, 4 to 8?
4 to 8.
Yep. Okay.
After every performance.
Super fun. That's not on slack days though, right?
No.
Okay.
Just on the 6 days that we have actual rodeo performance.
Okay, got it. What about our vice chair? What's a secret we got to make sure people know about?
Well, it's the longest continuously running community event in Tucson.
Really?
It is.
That's true. If you're right.
And so it's all about the community. It's the legacy, the heritage of Tucson. We're the only place in the country that we know of that they close the schools for 2 days. So
that's right.
You can go to the rodeo, and they've been doing that since 1925.
That's amazing. That's right. We ain't getting snow days here.
No snow days.
No snow days. We get off of the rodeo. It's so good and so fun. So let's just remind everybody, it's February 21st and 22nd and February 26th through March 1st. They have those slack days in between. Wednesday is a day off, nothing happening. Is at the Tucson Rodeo Grounds at 4823 South 6th Avenue. Don't forget that the Tucson Rodeo Parade is happening as well. What is the date of the parade? Is that February 26th?
That is the 26th.
Yes.
The morning of the 26th.
Bright and early in the morning, 9 a.m. I will be emceeing that. It's going to be my greatest honor. I love doing it every year. I also volunteer to do that. And, in fact, donate money because I love the Tucson Rodeo Parade and Museum. And that's over there that you get to check out the Tucson Rodeo Parade and Museum. I got to experience that again for first time in a couple of years because I went to the event where you announced the Grand Marshal, the one and only, thank goodness, Chris Edwards. I love him. That's right. I have insisted that I'm going to make sure that he does not take a blender and attach it to his cart because it is the nation's largest non-motorized parade. He can't be hooking up his appliances to these things. I won't have it. I did get to see at that event the new carts and wagons that were donated, and I've been going on and on about this. is that we've got all these new circus carts in the parade that were donated from a museum, and they said, we want you to have it because you roll them out. And they took them to Tombstone. They took them there. And I've described it, it's like watching a box of animal crackers roll down the street, because that's what it is. It's these amazing, colorful circus carts, the most colorful carts I think have ever been in the parade.
They came from the Scripps Institute, I believe.
Yes,
didn't they?
yes. So let's just take a look at some of the other things, because it's always good to just get some tips. So right on your website, you do have your know before you go, which is smart. It's a clear bag policy at the Tucson Rodeo. So make sure you have that and your ID, because it's always good to have that. And there's an alcohol policy, there's a photography policy, and the full event schedule is right there. So you can check that out. Oh, look at that. That's even a great wanted poster that they've got it on. That's awesome. So there's a lot to check out over at TucsonRodeo.com. This is going to be so much fun this year, as it always is. So tell me about your national anthem competition that by the time this airs, that will have happened, but it's coming up as we're recording. What's going on there?
Yes, we will have our national anthem contest finalists Thursday, February 5th at the Maverick. And the winner will then sing the national anthem before all 6 of our performances.
That was my next question. Is like, what is it? Are they going to do it 6 times? That's amazing. And what an honor. And I'll just say, like, a portfolio piece for someone that's doing that, to be at the Tucson Rodeo, getting to sing the national anthem. Really cool and smart to do it as a competition. That's great. That is a fun event.
We had like 15 people submit submissions, audition tapes.
Yeah.
So that we could choose from.
I'll be honest with you, when the word gets out, I bet next time you have even more. Yeah. Make a big stink about it, and you will have more, because this is a music town, Tucson. Absolutely. And we've got a great music scene in Tucson.
You bet.
So I love it. I love everything happening. And there is one last thing, because I am noticing the Rodeo Education and Children. It's REACH. It's a fun and educational program celebrating the historic sport of rodeo and the spirit of the American West. Tell me about REACH and how it's introducing K-6 students to rodeo and increasing the awareness of Western heritage and the working cowboy.
Well, that program we run, it's a volunteer program that we don't charge the schools for it.
Oh, really?
We run that every morning on Monday and Tuesday during slack, and we put it on for groups of kids. They bus them in from schools all over town.
It's like bonus
rodeo
days.
They make a field trip out of the day. And
oh, my goodness.
Our host for that has put this on for us for years. And she goes basically through the entire history of each event and how it's done and what the cowboys do and what it takes to compete in that. And then she also has some little life lessons in there, too, for kids of that age. But it's fun to see, there's 1,500, 2,000 kids out there on the ground walking around with their sack lunches and sitting in the grandstands. And when these guys are competing, they're not rooting for the cowboys; they're rooting for the animals.
Yeah,
and it's fun. They have a ball with it. But it's some of those kids have started with the REACH program, and they are now out there as volunteers. They've grown up through this whole progression. And that's where we hook them. We get them young and keep them coming.
That's the spirit. That's what they did to you. That's what rodeo does. It ropes you in.
It does.
That's what it does.
It does. It's
so,
addictive.
Let's hope that you get roped in February 21st and 22nd, as well as February 26th through March 1st, because it is La Fiesta de los Vaqueros. It's the Tucson Rodeo, 101 years of tradition. And today, we made friends with Mark Baird, chairman of the Tucson Rodeo, as well as Ken Marcus, vice chairman, and Lisa Wedman, member at large for the board of directors of the 101st Tucson Rodeo. Thank you all so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having us, Frank. We hope to see you soon.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
Yeehaw! All right, and before we go, I got a few more minutes, and look who's walking by. It's Elaine Bronson. Elaine, how's it going?
What? Oh, hi. What are you doing here?
I'm wrapping up an interview about the rodeo.
The rodeo!
Yes, the Tucson Rodeo is back, and you get to join me this year as we MC the 101st Tucson Rodeo Parade. Are you excited for this?
I am excited. I am crazy excited about this. I really am. I mean, I grew up going to parades. Plus, I grew up in Kentucky. We have horses, lots of horses at the parade, but they will find a reason in Kentucky at any occasion to have a parade. So I am so psyched for this.
It's going to be a memory for you to make because it is the nation's largest non-motorized parade.
What does that mean?
It means that there's no engines, there's no cars,
no motors,
there's no cars, nothing.
Nothing?
Yes. So even last year, we did even roll out a little car show before the thing. Then we said, this is not part of the parade. This is just a fun little car show real quick. And then the parade will begin because that's what keeps us historic. And you know what's great this year is that there is someone that we got to see. A little preview of this Tucson Rodeo Parade. They announced the Grand Marshal and we were there for it. One Chris Edwards of Tucson Appliance Company. I'm going to make sure that he keeps his parade non-motorized because I've been saying he might just take a dryer and attach a motor to his cart. You never know.
A fridge? Oh, yeah, that would not be okay.
No fridge motors attached to his cart. But yes, we were at the Tucson Rodeo Parade Museum, right? And we got a preview of some of these carts. What did you think of some of those carts and carriages that we saw?
Oh, they were unbelievable. I mean, so much history because every one of those carts and carriages has been donated from someone in Tucson. Some of them are 100 years old.
Yes.
And they're just donated. They're beautiful and they're so valuable and they're right there at the museum and they get to use them every year in the parade.
Yep. Some of them in famous movies, Western movies that used to be filmed out here. And as I was saying earlier, we just got donated a whole bunch of brand new circus style wagons that we saw. They were so colorful. There's calliopes. They're mirrored. They do a lot of great fun stuff. And it's going to be the most colorful parade Thursday, February 26th at 9 a.m. starting at South 12th Avenue and Drexel Road. The parade features over 500 horses, decorated wagons, a marching band or 2 or 3, and a whole bunch of Western heritage. So we're going to be making our memories that morning. And if you want to check out the grandstand, sit by there and you'll be sitting by us because we're going to be announcing all the great sponsors, all the fun carts and cars, all the carriages, and having a good time at this parade. Are you so excited?
Oh, I am. I'm thrilled. Can't wait.
I am too. It's the 101st La Fiesta de los Vaqueros, the Tucson Rodeo Parade. Yeehaw. Bing bong bing, time for a recap. I'm so glad I caught Elaine right before she left for the weekend. So that was a good conversation I just had with the Tucson Rodeo and Elaine about the Tucson Rodeo Parade. So a lot of volunteer opportunities you hear at the Tucson Rodeo. They're going to get you roped in. That's the lesson we really learned from our guests today. It's something you're going to get involved with and stay with, maybe for the rest of your life, because it sounds like a really great group of people, and I can tell because I keep meeting them, and they really are. Being involved in all these events, getting to see Chris Edwards be chosen as the Grand Marshal was a fun event, and I'm really excited because the community is really coming together and often does around the Tucson Rodeo. Don't forget, it did sell out last year, so make sure that you get your tickets early. And make sure that you have a good time celebrating the Western heritage that they are bringing because it sounds like so much fun all around every corner, bigger, better, and even earlier. So doors or gates are at 10, I believe, because it's a full day of events that you can go get all the details for that over at TucsonRodeo.com. As I was saying, Muttin Bustin is at noon. So you have 2 hours to go have breakfast, get something to eat, get something to drink, do some shopping, and then get ready to enjoy all the fun at the Tucson Rodeo. The Tucson Rodeo is, of course, at the Tucson Rodeo Grounds at 4823 South 6th Avenue, and February 21st and 22nd is when this big event kicks off and then continues throughout the week because they have slack. Monday and Tuesday, it's free to attend, so make sure your school knows that you might be able to take a field trip and get some extra time. Wednesday, they're off, and then it's rodeo days here in Tucson. February 26th, join me and Elaine for that Tucson Rodeo Parade at 9 a.m. bright and early, and then the Tucson Rodeo continues all those days throughout March 1st. So make sure you get all the details over at TucsonRodeo.com. And I'm going to have more interviews and more conversations with more guests about the Tucson Rodeo, and I can't wait to do it. So keep on listening to Lifestyle Tucson. And I want to thank our new friends at the Tucson Rodeo for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. And if you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Audible, or wherever fine podcasts are historic. Follow on Facebook, Instagram, and especially YouTube at Lifestyle Tucson, because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers, and toot toot Tucson, I love you the most.